Hello, everyone. Are you sick of staying at home, keeping your family safe? Well, the best thing that you can do at a time like this is to gather in big crowds and go out into the streets to protest the safer at home orders. This may seem like a sarcastic joke, but it's the reality of what's going on right now. People are tired of the safer at home orders and they're going out into the streets and protesting. It's the reality of a group mindset and patience. So, before I get into my argument, I'll let you know what COVID 19 is and the laws that have been signed into effect to try to help out things as we know it right now. So, COVID 19, it's a new virus, right? It's something that people haven't seen before. It's kind of like the flu, kind of like a cold. Um, it's spread by droplets that people either exhale, cough, sneeze, you name it. Any way they get expelled out of the body, they're too heavy to stay in the air, so they quickly fall to the ground or other surfaces, and they're spread by surface. They live on the surface within 3 days, and you could pick it up 3 days after somebody coughed or sneezed and be a potential carrier. Um, it started in Wuhan, China in December of 2019, and within a couple of weeks it spread to infect the entire world. On April 26th of 2020, the Safer at Home order was signed into effect by Governor Tony Evers, which extended the original order from April 24th all the way until May 26th. So my main points here are going to be, number one, the effectiveness of the safe at home order at reducing cases in Wisconsin compared to other states. Second point is the argument that Wisconsinites can't survive another 12 to 18 months of quarantine. And my third argument is that things will take longer to return to normal if we terminate the safe at home order before the 26th. So now that you have an understanding of what the disease is and some of the laws behind it, let's take a look at the safe at home order's effectiveness at keeping case numbers low. So Wisconsin's obedience has greatly diminished the numbers of the case than other states. You know, other states aren't following orders as strictly as our state has, and it's got its consequences. According to a WTMJ Milwaukee news article, we are flattening the curve. Wisconsin DHS reports lowest increase in day-to-day COVID-19 cases in nearly 3 weeks. The social distancing has reduced the numbers in Wisconsin. On April 12th, there were 87 new cases, which was the lowest since March 24th, where only 41 new cases happened in the state. Now, this is down quite substantially from April 1st, when we had 199 new cases. So I'm going to tell you a quote here by Andrea Palm, one of the secretaries. She said, "We've seen a decrease in the exponential raise of this disease as a result of the safer at home orders." So they're right there. You know, there's great source, somebody who is actively on this deal. According to the New York Times database, coronavirus map and case count, Wisconsin numbers of the case in general, both with death counts and number of cases, are lower than adjoining states. Wisconsin has a total of 6,801 cases, and this is as of the 26th of April, and 281 deaths. Now remember that, 6,801 and 281. That's pretty close to Minnesota. Minnesota had, 286 deaths and 3,816 cases. So that's relatively close to what Wisconsin's got going on. Now, on the other hand, Michigan has a total of 38,190 cases, 3,406 deaths, and Illinois has a total of 45,883 cases and a total of 1,992 deaths. Now, Michigan and Illinois have had substantially bigger outbreaks and seem to be having a harder time controlling this virus than Wisconsin and Minnesota. And this is doing to, the fact that these states that have these higher outbreaks haven't been as careful as the states that don't. So although Wisconsin has done a good job with this, people are becoming stir crazy. There's the argument now that Wisconsinites can't handle another 12 to 18 months of quarantine. It's just not realistic. So I'm going to tell you guys the best thing to do is to wait for May 26th before thinking too hard about any of this. According to the WBAY Green Bay article, Governor gets pushback on safer at home extension. People are rallying and protesting about it. They're going out into the streets and they're exercising their right as citizens to rally and protest. That's what's going on. Republicans are saying that the economy is suffering right now, and even though the disease is a real problem, we need a different solution in place. I'm going to read you a quote from Madison Elmer, one of the organizers of these rallies. She says, "My personal goal of this rally is to bring together people of like minds," which are people that want to end the safer at home extension. So basically their whole motive right now is just end the safer at home extension. That's what they're protesting. And according to the WTMJ Milwaukee News Order, safer at home is working. Governor Tony Evers reinforces message behind safer at home order after protests. He speaks a little bit about the importance of these orders that he's signed into place and that they're working, and we need to just listen to them until it's done. Now, the Tavern League, they came up with a pretty decent rebuttal to Evers, saying that they'd like to have a soft reopen on May 1st to just alleviate some of this stress. And their argument is that the vaccine could take possibly 12 to 18 months to get completed, so that's a long time. And they're saying also that there's nothing going to be different on the 26th than there is today, so why not just open stuff up right away? And that is a sound argument. I can't disagree with that. Even if the order is lifted, though, we could have spikes, which brings me to my third point. Early termination of the safer home orders could make things take longer to return. And I'll show you what could happen if this happens in Wisconsin. So according to the LA Times article, Orange County COVID-19 cases surpassed 2,100 after weekend surge. I'll tell you what happened at Orange County in California. Cases increased to 2,126 on Monday, April 27, which is more than 500 from just a week ago on 4/20. People are ignoring the orders that California Governor Gavin Newsom put into place, and they're flocking to the beaches for leisure, and they're going to the streets for protest. That's what they're doing there. People gather, cases will rise. That's just how the science behind it works. Back when the bubonic plague happened, you had a whole bunch of folks think that the best thing to do is go to church and pray it away. Well, gather and drink wine out of the same cup? Yep. That's pretty much the same thing that's happening in California. Maybe not, but you understand what I'm saying. So, to end what I'm trying to say here, protesting ignoring the safer at home orders is just going to cause an increase in cases and result in longer social dormancy. In conclusion, the safer at home orders are not a joke, and it's working for Wisconsin better than it's working for neighboring states because neighboring states haven't listened. People are tired of being cooped up, and that's just a fact. People are social creatures. We need social contact. Tavern League has a great argument. Things might not be any different on the 26th than they are today. But even if it seems like a good idea to reopen things, all you got to do is look at what happened in Orange County, California, and you can see that could easily happen here. I hope this information has been useful, and I hope that I may persuade you guys to stay at home until May 26th. Plan ahead. Go to the grocery store once a week. Wash your hands, cover your cough, and avoid large groups. Aside from avoiding large groups, this stuff should just be normal, everyday practice. Keep yourself, your family, and your loved ones safe and healthy during this time. That's what matters most. Thank you guys for listening to me.